Yeah. And then Claire asks her mom to come home, and her mom is so happy, and Jake covers for her.
Yeah.
And they're like, Claire's like, I was so hung up on like losing a boyfriend. I didn't realize how great it would be to get a brother. I'm like, this would be sweet if it wasn't also gross.
It's so weird. Also, it's weird that Jake calls like their parents mom and dad.
Yeah.
I'm like, she's not your mom.
No.
I don't get it. And I'm like, their whole vibe is still weird.
It's weird.
And then it ends. That's the end of the episode.
It was a weird episode.
It's super weird.
I was not expecting any of this.
Nope. All right. Spirit Squad captain.
Jake?
Sure. Maybe Connor. I don't know. Ship. I'm shipping Fiona and Imogen.
Girl, same.
Moral. Don't be a brat.
Yeah, that covers it. So everyone, stop being a brat.
Stop being a brat. All right. Grapevine. All right. Well, we have an email from Got Siegs, who is the listener we were talking about who had the Aubrey Graham fan site. So they sent us an email about it. Hi, ladies. 1, the podcast is amazing. 2, I'm sorry if this email gets super long. I was looking for photos, which I sadly didn't find because Photobucket died or doesn't exist in its earlier form. And ended up going down the weirdest Degrassi wormhole. Anyway, I'm Brittany, Got Siegs on Twitter. Blessed out for trying to pronounce my username. I just realized it's difficult unless you know me in real life because it's a nickname, but it's literally Got Siegs. I'm not even sure where to start with this, and I can't believe I'm up at midnight trying to send this, but I feel like it's the only time I have to write this all down. So back when Degrassi was like a thing on the end, it had a very weird, very specific fandom. Looking back at old LiveJournal posts, we were all kind of odd but awesome. It was also back when the internet wasn't so scary and you weren't concerned about getting to know strangers, even though it's easier to stalk someone online now. There was a website called DegrassiBoards.com, and it was basically just a forum for Degrassi fans. The admin mods there all got names that were either the character or the actor that played them. So their usernames would be like DB_Hazel This Urban Dictionary page for it accurately sums it up. I'm not going to read the Urban Dictionary page, but it's pretty funny. I wish I could remember what clique I was in, but I ended up befriending a few people on the site. We'll call them A and C for their confidentiality. And A and I both realized we shared a love for Aubrey Graham. And I mean, could you blame us? So I somehow convinced my mom to pay for some web-related things, and A convinced her mom to pay for the other things. And the next thing you know, we're working on a website. I believe another person from Degrassi Boards did the first layout for us, and we basically taught ourselves how to code and shit. God bless MySpace back in the day for teaching us all basic HTML, right? So anyway, I managed to find my LiveJournal account from that time in my life. And of course, I blogged about the second most important day of my life. This is a quote from the LiveJournal. I'm totally jumping for joy right now, and you'll soon know why. If you've already been to aubreygraham.net today, then you know why. I talked to Aubrey Graham online, and yes, it was him. For all who doubt me, I don't really care. Anyways, he's seen our site, and he likes it, and that makes me extra happy. God, I'm like jumping for joy. Sorry about such a short update, lol, Brit. I don't even remember how he reached out. I want to say it was MySpace. I think we sent him a link and he responded, and somehow this turned into him offering to do an interview with us, me, because I was the only one that had been corresponding with him at this point. I immediately said yes because I was 14 and my frickin' fave actor / love of my life and my brain wanted to talk to me. Like, what? And he was like, okay, great. Do you have a tape recorder or whatever to do it? And I was like, I will. Because this was a once-in-a-lifetime chance. So he called me one time to schedule it, and I was like, cool, great, dope. I somehow kept my chill and then, like, scream-cried to my mom about it, who I think had been skeptical up until this point. I never got that tape recorder because I was dumb and 14 and had no idea what I was doing. We did get the interview, though. He was sweet and kind enough to just type up the answers for us and send them over. I did eventually meet him face-to-face when I got my aunt to take me to a Degrassi Mall tour that October. It was him and Shane Kipple, and we basically drove all the way from Jersey to Baltimore just so I could see him. I brought him a hat, and I also met up with C there. So when we did meet him, I was like, I'm Brittany, and he was like, Brittany, Brittany! And that moment of recognition was like the greatest thing to ever happen to me. He was so sweet, and I was just super in love. He took the hat, and then security tried to take it from him, but he was like, no. And then he told me to go with security to the back, so of course I did. In hindsight, he was totally trying to mac on me because honestly, I did not look 14 at 14. I looked more like 16, and I purposely wore a hot pink tube top that day. It was 2005. I stayed with security for like 10 minutes, and when my aunt came and basically yelled at me because she was like, girl, what are you doing? My aunt is only like 10 years older than me, so she knew the game. I don't remember when I stopped working on the site, but there was just so much drama that came along with it, and I think the other co-owner eventually gave up on it at some point in 2006. That said, I was totally obsessed with Degrassi from that time. It aired until early 2006. I had some really old, rare Drake demos on my old computer from that time, but I've basically lost all of it, along with all my photos, which is a super bummer. I also met Jake Epstein, Miriam McDonald, and Stacey Farber at a book signing for a Degrassi book a long time ago. I'm basically a Degrassi encyclopedia, and this damn show holds such a special place in my heart. When it was canceled a few years ago, before Next Class and it moving to Netflix, I sent text messages to family members letting them know that a day I never thought would arrive finally did, and that Degrassi would no longer be airing because I live for drama. My mom literally texted me to see if I was okay, even though I hadn't watched it in forever. It's like a friend that I always expect to be around, and I've watched every episode at this point, even though I haven't enjoyed it since Bianca graduated, because Bianca was the last great character. I suffered through seasons 8 and 9 of The Next Generation, and even if they air another Netflix season, I'm sure I'll catch myself watching that too. Thanks again for the awesome podcast, and again, sorry this email got so long. I seriously love what you guys do. You crack me up, and I feel like you're reading my mind half the time. Maybe I'll send another email in the future about how weird the Degrassi fandom was. Also, you guys should def watch the old series when you get through all the new episodes. They are so bad/good, and you also realize how repetitive the storylines are. Bye, Panthers. Britt. Thank you, Britt.
That was such a good email.
Oh, it's so fascinating. I love how you were able to interview Aubrey Graham, though. That's amazing.
I'm so jealous. I'm like truly so jealous. We have 2 reviews, but I'm wondering if maybe we want to save them both for the next one since we don't really have that much.
2 reviews for the next episode? All right, buckle in, guys.
Although it's only 30. We're only at 37 minutes. I'll do the review.
Okay,
all right. I've been
now.
thinking on it.
Okay.
All right, we have one we have a review. I can't remember who it's from.
It's from Dr. Vanessa Poseidon.
Okay.
That's the name
cool.
on the review.
You left us something really nice, and we really appreciate it. You mentioned that you have a husband, so gonna ship you with a dude. All right. Buckle in. Okay. Okay. So you are a teacher at Degrassi, and you are planning so you're involved with the reunion that they had in that one episode that we did. That was a reunion. So you're involved in the reunion, and there's like a fun like talent show thing, which I mean, really playing fast and loose with the word fun. But sure, you're like trying to find talent for the reunion, and you decide to look into like who from the graduating class is like skilled at all, and you're like, oh, this guy Craig Manning, he's like an actual professional musician now. I should get in touch with him. So you invite him, and he's like super on board because he loves his alma mater for some reason. And he's like, yeah, I'll totally do it, whatever. Even though I'm on Broadway and much more famous now than I was before. So he like comes to the school, and you're like, oh no, we're the same age and he's very hot. And you guys are really flirty and whatever. And he like performs for the school, and you're like really appreciative, and you're just like, oh, thank you so much. This is like so nice of you. Like, you know, everyone really appreciates you like coming back like from New York and going out of your way to do this. And he's like, yeah, of course, totally. And he's like, do you want to get some coffee or something? Because he's, you know, in recovery. So you guys get some coffee at the Dot, and Spinner is your waiter because time is a flat circle.
Spinner just is still here.
Spinner's still here, and Spinner is your waiter. And yeah, and you guys have like a really nice date, and he like invites you to come visit him in New York since the school year's almost over. and you spend like a summer in New York with Craig Manning. And maybe you guys break up at the end, but it's like, if you do, it's like an amicable breakup and you were like, we had a really fun summer. Goodbye.
Cool.
Or maybe you stay together. I don't know. Live your life.
All right. Sweet. But that is all the grapevine that we have for you guys today. If you'd like to be featured on a future grapevine segment, you can tweet at us at DegrassiPod. We're on Instagram at DegrassiPod. You can email us at whateverittakespodcast@gmail.com. We're on Tumblr, whateverittakespodcast.tumblr.com. You can listen to us pretty much anywhere, but if you're on Apple Podcasts, if you could rate, review, and subscribe, that'd be super cool. And if you leave us a review, you will get your own Degrassi-inspired fan fiction like Dr. Vanessa Poseidon did today. And you can follow me on Instagram at HollandTacular.
And you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at KelSucks with a Z at the end. And Holland, what do you want to recommend?
I don't know.
All right, you think on it. I have a thing. There is the second season of the podcast In the Dark. It's awesome. They're doing a different case than last season, but I really like the girl who hosts it, and I really like that they're very like legit in their investigative techniques, and like it's, I don't know, I feel like some of the true crime podcasts, like when they're trying to be investigators, are like really kind of like flying by the seat of their pants, and these people are really organized, and just the host is really personable. I don't know, she like there's this one podcast that's like it's just like the guy really bugged me, so I had to stop listening, even though the case was really interesting and was like actually going places. But this girl's awesome. So In the Dark season 2.
Cool. I guess I'll just recommend a YouTube channel I've been watching lately. The guy's name is Brutal Moose. He does a lot of like video game reviews, but he's been starting to do like these weird obscure cookbook reviews, and will make weird recipes from weird cookbooks.
Wait, that sounds amazing.
And it's hilarious.
That sounds really fun, actually.
So yeah, Brutal Moose. Check it out.
Brutal Moose. I love it.
And that is all that we have for you guys today. Thank you, as always, to Jay for our wonderful theme song. And thank all of you for listening. Goodbye, Panthers.
Bye, Panthers.